And a real pleasure to be joined by Oklahoma State's new head basketball coach, Mike Boynton, who is a member of Coach Underwood's staff and has been promoted to the head coaching position. I'll start off with the presidential question. Why is Mike Boynton a good choice to be the new head coach at Oklahoma State?
You know, I've been working at this for a really long time, and it really started long before I got into the coaching profession. I was a little boy, and my dad used to take me to the gym, and I found myself thinking about the game a lot differently than some of the people my age. And when I started to play organized, I still felt like I always thought as a coach. I had aspirations of being a coach for a really long time, from the time I was in middle school probably. And I've always been a point guard. I've always been a leader. And those are qualities that I think it really takes to be successful. Now, what's helped me over my course of my career is I've worked for really good people. I've played for really good coaches. And I've been able to devise a plan that I think will be really, really successful here at Oklahoma State University.
If you don't mind, share a couple little tidbits of that plan. What's that plan look like?
Well, first of all, it's building it with incredible hard work. I think everything's built on work ethic. So that's the first faction of our program moving forward. You got to have really good people who do things the right way, people who care. And then you have to have some experience. And I think with my experience at different levels of the college coaching profession, as well as the staff that we'll certainly put together, we'll be able to do that. So work ethic is first and foremost, doing things with integrity, and then we're going to have some fun as well.
You mentioned your father as an influence on you from a basketball standpoint. From a coaching standpoint, a college coaching standpoint, who were the biggest influences on you?
Well, I played for Coach Eddie Fogler first. He recruited me. He's a guy I have tremendous respect for. But I only played for him for 1 year. People think that I played for Coach Fogler forever. Coach Dave Odom came in in my sophomore year, and I played for him for 3 years. And he was a tremendous influence on the way I thought about the game and the way I thought about the point guard position. But then I've worked for Larry Davis, who's the associate head coach at Cincinnati, Mike Young, who's the head coach at Wofford College, Buzz Peterson, Darren Horn, who's an assistant coach at Texas. And each one of those guys did things just a little bit differently. From a recruiting standpoint, from a player relationship standpoint, from a player development standpoint. And then obviously the last 4 years with Brad, I saw things through a totally different lens. And obviously being in a different region of the country allowed me to expand the way I saw basketball, because now I was able to watch Big 12 basketball a lot.
Yeah.
I was able to watch Southland Conference basketball a lot, and just seeing different coaches do things different ways, kind of a mutt in that way. But I think that my vision at this point is going to give us a chance to be really, really good.
So this is kind of a hard question probably to answer out of the gate, but what's your style going to be like? Do you believe in what Coach Underwood does offensively and what he did defensively? What's going to be your style, at least as far as you can tell right now?
Yeah, we're a defensive first program and will be, and we'll continue to recruit that way. We'll recruit guys who can help us be really good defensively. That means having length, having athleticism, starting on the perimeter, but then throughout your roster. And offensively, some of it's predicated on your talent.
Sure.
And what different guys can do. But my job is to make sure we put those guys in position to have success. We want to play fast, but that'll start on the defensive end with being disruptive, causing turnovers, and trying to get out and score easy baskets. And then in the half court, you got to play to your strengths. And the strengths are what the guys on your team can do. If you're a really good three-point shooting team, like Michigan was that we ran into this year, they don't have their 5-men posting up a lot. They give them an opportunity to shoot threes. Purdue, on contrast, has 2 big horses who can score on the block against anybody, so they played inside out. And so I think a good coach evaluates his roster and plans his offense accordingly.
It's interesting. I saw on Twitter where an unnamed coach referred to you as being confident enough to be in the right place but not cocky. True?
I would say that's fair. I've got extreme confidence. I believe in myself and my abilities because I work really hard. I think confidence comes from hard work. And I tell that to our players all the time. If you're not doing something well enough in the game, then maybe you're just not working hard enough at it. So I always keep that in the back of my mind. Confidence comes from hard work. But I also have a respectability about myself. And I respect all our opponents. I respect all of our counterparts in the league and otherwise. But I'm not going to take a back step from anybody.
As far as, some would say, you're a young head coach, you're 35 years old. But is that an advantage? Is it an advantage to be a young guy?
Yeah, I think there's advantages to both sides. Obviously, I haven't been on the sidelines in the Big 12 and calling timeouts, but that's just a really small part of this. I think the biggest part of this profession is being able to build genuine relationships with young people and their families. to getting them to believe in your philosophy and your vision for your program. And then because you care about them and they know, they work their tails off for you and for the program that they represent. So I have no doubt that my staff and I will be able to do that and convey that message to young people out there. I've been recruiting for long enough now that I think we'll be able to reach out to some really, really talented guys and bring them here. And I think that's what it's about.
How will you go about engaging the Oklahoma State fans?
First and foremost, I want to let them know that the sun has come up and it's time to keep this train rolling forward, that we're going to continue to build this program the right way with integrity, and that I am the guy for the job right now. The staff that we'll put together will continue to work in their favor. This program is about our fans and about our student athletes, and it'll always be that way as long as I'm the head coach here. So reaching out to them and letting them know that I know it's hurt the last week or so, but it's time to turn the page, move forward, and our staff moving forward and our players moving forward, looking forward to making them proud.
We're looking forward to having you as head coach.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Absolutely.
New Oklahoma State head basketball coach Mike Boynton.